Hi everyone, welcome to Frugé-ology. In this mini-series, I talk to you about my favorite things, cigars, whiskey, and barbecue. I compare them to my other favorite thing, information security. Today, this episode, I'm camping out here on the Brazos River in Glen Rose, Texas. And I thought I'd talk to you about a great cigar and how to pick one. Now, I'm lucky enough to be holding this Padron 1926. This is a phenomenal stick. And I want to thank Lou Palacio and the Padron family for providing this cigar to me free of charge. This is a wonderful gift. Thank you guys. Now, when you're picking out a great cigar, like let's say you were looking at a box of these 1926s, some of the things that you want to look for are the existence of big veins in the leaves. You want to make sure there aren't any that are really bad, like really, really prominent veins. Because what can happen is as you're smoking the cigar, those veins will pop and it'll start to unravel. And that can kind of mess up your experience. If you look around the humidor and you don't see a good humidifier, a good source of humidity, you might be concerned about it being dry. You can certainly give a real soft pinch to the cigar like this and make sure it's kind of even throughout. You want it to be just a little spongy. Not too spongy. If it's really easily compressed, then that could be a problem with too much humidity. And lastly, you really want to look at the foot of the cigar here and make sure that the pattern of the tobacco in that binder is real consistent and real smooth. If you see a lot of different problems in there, it's really inconsistent, that could mean it's going to be a bad cigar smoking experience. Not necessarily, it's just one of those things. You want to keep your hands away from the top of the cigar. That's where someone's going to put their mouth in. And please don't smell it. It's a faux pas. People putting cigars next to their nose thinking that somehow means it's going to be a good cigar. It's definitely bad etiquette. So that leads me to talk a little bit about looking at cigar flaws. I want to talk a little bit about security flaws. One of the fundamental things that we have in our information security program is a good understanding of our vulnerability landscape, right? All of us have this. Typically, what I see is that people have infrastructure vulnerability scanners. They don't really do a lot of application vulnerability scanning, and when they do, tying those things together so that you can say, okay, in my application landscape, these applications are most important, and I'm going to map my infrastructure that supports those apps to those apps so I know what infrastructure is also most important, is a worthy exercise. It can be kind of difficult, but it's definitely worth doing. With that said, I want to talk for a moment about a major vulnerability in a critical application that the research team at Onapsis discovered just last week. This is known as Big Debit. It affects Oracle eBusiness Suite General Ledger. It's a big deal because about half of Oracle eBusiness Suite implementations are vulnerable to it, which is a lot. It's a very prominent application, and it allows the attacker to do things like commit fraud, redirect payments, mess with your financial data, and it's hard to detect when they do this, and again, it's unauthenticated. So friends, if you or someone you love uses Oracle eBusiness Suite, please send them a link to the article in this post. All right, with that said, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Mapping your application and your infrastructure layers together to prioritize your patching activities, very important activity. See you next time on Frugé-ology. I'm gonna go get in that river.